When you look at the history of hip-hop, there was a time before Outkast and one after. When everybody went in one direction, they shifted to the other. Their music and style were special, and they did things differently. However, before we start talking about the greatness of Outkast, we have to go way back to where it all started. The dynamic duo met each other at Tri-Cities High School, and at first Dre and Big Boy weren't getting along, and at the school they were rival MCs battling each other back and forth. Big Boy's rhymes were more confrontational and flamboyant, while Dre's rhymes were more observatory, and he rapped more about how he felt, and their love for music would sooner than later make them best friends, which made them decide to start a group together. And the name was 2 Shades Deep. The two started to go real hard and try to get their voices heard by any means necessary. And it was at this time they met the producer Rico Wade from Organized Noize. As soon as they met, Rico Wade wanted to see what Andre and Big Boy could do. And let's just say he was impressed of what he heard, and the pair got invited to the dungeon, the home of Organized Noize.
Saying like my boy say, we in the dungeon, and this, you know what I'm saying, where we just make, you know what I'm saying, make our music at. We sit down here and vibe, you know what I'm saying, It's be cold in the winter, you know what I'm saying, hot, you know what I'm saying, steaming like it is now in the summertime, you know what I'm saying, but we were doing what we doing, you know what I'm saying, like that.
The dungeon was Rico Wade's mom's unfinished basement. They had all the music equipment they needed, and people would come there to freestyle, write raps, listen to music and vibe. Together, they built their own world, even coming up with new slang. People would even have sleeping bags in the basement and just breathe music all day. They were called the Dungeon Family, and groups such as Goody Mob were also a part of the collective. As the days went by, the duo spent more and more time in a dungeon, and they weren't gonna let anything stop them from reaching the top. And it was by this time they came up with the name Outkast. The duo first tried their luck in the music business with L.A. Reid, the president of LaFace Records. And L.A. Reid really loved the music of Outkast, but they didn't believe they were stars, so they didn't get signed. The pair got disheartened at first, but there were no way they were gonna give up, and they were gonna come back harder than ever. Organized Noize pushed them to another level, and Outkast started practicing with a discipline compared to the military. Organized Noize made them run around the block rhyming at the same time so they could perform better on stage and not be out of breath. The duo was also pushed lyrically. They had to have weight and truth in their rhymes, and if it was whack, Organized would let them know. Now it was time for Outkast to prove themselves once and for all, and this time they had done their homework, and L.A. Reid was impressed, which got them signed to LaFace, and their first debut was on a Christmas album, A LaFace Family Christmas, with the record Players Ball, talking about the fact that there is barely a Christmas in the ghetto, and the record was received well.
Beginning to look a lot like wood. Follow my every step. Take notes on how I crept. I'm about to go in depth. This is the way I treat my cheeks, and here's my ghetto rep. I kept too late to leave. No, it can't sleep. So I began to piece my 2 and 2 together. Got so snowy weather. Had to find something to do better bet.
And now it was time for an album. They went in like no other, working every day, all the time, for 2 months straight. In 1994, Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik was released, and in 1995 they were named the New Artist of the Year at the Source Awards. During that time, rap was all East Coast and West Coast, but Outkast showed that the South got something to say.
But it's like this though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Around the time of releasing their albums ATliens and Aquemini, they started mastering their crafts and coming into their own. Andre wanted to go his own way. He thought the game was boring, and he didn't want to look or be like the typical rapper. He wanted something different and new. He stopped smoking, eating meat, and getting more into spiritualism. He also started to look like his music, unique, powerful, and diverse. He showed the world who he was. People at this time thought the group was gonna break up, due to Big Boy and Andre 3000 being so different from each other. However, this was far away from the truth. Big Boy always respected Dre, and their love for music would keep them together. And in 2000, they would release the legendary album Stankonia, with records like So Fresh, So Clean, Miss Jackson, Bombs Over Baghdad, and so on. The album took the world by storm. Outkast became mainstream, and they won a Grammy for Rap Album of the Year. Since then, Outkast have released a double album named Speakerbox, The Love Below. Big Boy stood for the Speakerbox part and Andre for The Love Below. The project was the group's biggest commercial success, with songs like Hey Ya, Roses, and The Way You Move. In 2006, they released the movie musical Idlewild alongside a soundtrack, and since then, they haven't released a single new project together. The friendship between the two is still going strong until this day, and in 2014, they reunited at Coachella to continue to tour across the world.
I pray so much about I need some need pass. It happened for a reason, one can't be mad. See, everything's cool. And yes, that's what we present on the first day of school and graduation. Miss Jackson, for real.
In recent years, Big Boy and Andre 3000 have also taken part in some individual projects. Big Boy have, for example, released 3 albums, with Boomiverse being the latest. He's also in the stock market, he's breeding dogs, and he's focused to introduce new artists to the world. Andre 3000 has been hanging low music-wise, featuring in some records here and there. For example, he featured on the Come Home record with Anderson .Paak. He believes a big part in hip-hop is being hip, and it feels like he's getting further away from it the older he gets, and he believes rapping past a certain age can get embarrassing. However, he has been starring in some TV series and movies. For example, he played Jimi Hendrix in Jimmy All Is By My Side. Furthermore, he's been tampering in the fashion industry with the fashion line Benjamin Bixby. The greatness of Outkast is nothing short of amazing. A dynamic duo that were so different from each other, yet so close. With their unique sound, which was impossible to duplicate. Their bold wordplay, iconic music videos, and their new ways of performing broke down walls in hip-hop that had never been broken down before. They put the South on the map and opened the door for a whole new generation of artists. Hopefully, we will hear more projects from the legendary duo soon. If you want to take a closer look at Outkast, check out the links I've left in the description. And if you want to learn more about some legendary artists, check out these videos. And I'll see you in the next one.